From a coastal town where the mango trees sway, dreams took flight in a world far away. No silver spoon, no secret handshakes, just grit in the bones and a heart that won't break. Books were the windows, stars were the maps. She read her future in the spaces between gaps. From a city of pure waters to Capitol halls, a girl dared to rise to answer the call. Two hats, one heart, wearing courage like a work of art. No straight lines, no easy start, but she blazed through with the fire in her heart. Two hats, two hands, building dreams across distant lands. Two presidents, one truth stands. It's the spirit inside that commands. No Barbie dreams, but Wonder Woman's flight. No ballrooms, just classrooms late at night. Sociology whispered, here's your way. Understand the world, help it someday. Tornado winds and oceans that roared. Thunderstorms shook, but she stood, she soared. With every heartbreak, every heart goodbye, she stitched her legacy into the sky. Two hats, one heart, wearing courage like a work of art. No straight lines, no easy start, but she blazed through with the fire in her heart. Two hats, two hands, building dreams across distant lands. Two presidents, one truth stands. Yes, there's a spirit inside that commands, yeah. From Iowa streets to Washington dreams, from whispered prayers to Capitol beams. No crown on her head, no royal decree, just the power of hope and a fierce belief. To infinity and beyond, her journey sings in every dawn. Family roots and winds that bend. She's a storm, a calm, a legend, a friend. Two hats, one heart, wearing courage like a work of art. No straight lines, no easy start, but she blazed through with the fire in her heart. Two hats, two hands, building dreams across distant lands. Two presidents, one truth stands. It's the spirit inside that commands. Yeah, it's the spirit inside that commands. Two hats, an unstoppable heart.
You know, it is such a privilege to welcome you to the celebration for Ambassador Carmen G. Cantor as we honor the launch of her upcoming memoir, The Ambassador, Two Hats, Two Presidents, which will be available at all retail stores September 10th, 2025. Ambassador Cantor's story is one of dedication, resilience, and service at the highest levels. From her roots in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, she has risen to serve as U.S. Ambassador to the Federated States of Micronesia and later as Assistant Secretary for Insular and International Affairs at the U.S. Department of Interior. Throughout her career, she has represented our nation with diplomacy, strength, and heart. Her memoir offers a rare behind-the-scenes look at the complex and often delicate world of international relations, interwoven with rich tapestry of her personal life. The Ambassador, Two Hats, Two Presidents is not only the story of navigating cultural bridges, building lasting relationships, and serving under two U.S. presidents, it's also a deeply personal account of balancing those two hats, of leadership with the equally important role of nurturing family. At its heart, this book is a celebration of life's fullness, from the beauty of her upbringing in Puerto Rico to the joy and challenges of family life, to the moments of quiet reflection that shaped her path. It is a memoir of resilience, identity, and the enduring strength found in both public service and personal devotion. What makes this launch special is not just the release of the book, but the celebration of a voice that inspires. Ambassador Cantor's story reminds us that leadership rooted in integrity, compassion, leaves a lasting legacy. As her publisher at RMPS Studio, I had the honor of working alongside her to bring this manuscript to life. It's been a journey to learn about her upbringing from her personal stories and her family, learning from her insights, seeing the commitment for every detail, witnessing the grace and professionalism she brings to every conversation. I especially enjoyed learning about her family and the adventure she's been on. No matter the obstacles, she and her family were able to rise above no matter what trials. I felt many times as we read through the stories together, like I was right there with her. And at times my throat would choke up, which she can attest to. And I knew that if the stories made me feel this way and touch my soul, that they would also touch the readers too. It is my belief that is what makes a great writer and a great memoir. The truth and essence of who we are is important in every book. And this book does just that. So please join me in raising a virtual toast to this amazing, incredible human being, an amazing writer and now author, Ambassador Carmen G. Cantor. Host with me and let's celebrate. You can unmute. Congratulations. And I'm letting more people in. This is wonderful. Wow, you have a full house. Fantastic. I will now give the spotlight to Ambassador Carmen for her remarks and give her an opportunity to share what it's been like to write this book and her journey as a writer and now author. So welcome.
First of all, thank you so much, Ms. Rosales, for the kind introduction. And again, good evening to all the people from the East Coast and friends and family, and good morning to those of you that are calling from the Pacific region. I know that there are a few of you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome, bienvenidos. I am so thrilled to see so many familiar faces to here celebrating the launch of my book, The Ambassador, Two Hats, Two Presidents. Let me briefly tell you a little bit about the book, the story behind the book, and it's not complicated. It's actually very simple. During my time as ambassador in the Federated States of Micronesia, I started sharing stories about my upbringing, and the embassy staff started asking questions, and repeatedly they kept telling me and asking, why don't you write a book about your life and experiences? And now that you're here in Micronesia, you should do that. And I have to say to all of you, that never crossed my mind. Writing a book was never something that I, said, I'm going to write a book when I grow up or, later in my life. After I received a second presidential nomination in 2022 and working with many incredible people, people that you usually hear about in the news, I started thinking about the idea of writing the book. And here we are in 2025. Most of you know that I retired in January of this year. But many of you don't know that 2 weeks after I retired, I was back at work, this time writing a memoir. The book's purpose is to inspire, empower, and ignite the imaginations of people through my life story and challenges. It's, we could say, a si se puede type of story. It talks about Puerto Rico, my family, my experiences working as a public servant for 34 years, my recollections about September 11, my time in the Blue Pacific continent, the COVID era, working with Colin Powell, Hillary Clinton, Deb Haaland. There are stories about Vice President Al Gore. And there is even one story about Bad Bunny. Abdul, I know you're here. You're probably wondering what I wrote. You need to read it. It is actually a story about persistence, hard work, and resilience. I can tell you that what sets this book apart, it is, the unique perspective on how I made it to the governments, to the U.S. government's senior levels, from the city of Pure Waters, Mayagüez, my hometown, to Washington, D.C. From the civil service ranks to becoming an ambassador And all this despite, the roadblocks that came my way. I do have to say that writing the book was not easy. I kept telling Adriana Rosales throughout this journey, I said, I don't like to write, but I have to say that the journey of doing this was both challenging and very, very rewarding. I hope that, the Ambassador, Two Hats, Two Presidents, this memoir resonates with all of you, but especially with women, islanders, and readers who had to work a little extra to climb the career ladder, break ceilings, or achieve something. As Adriana mentioned, the book will officially launch on September 10th. That's when you can go to Amazon and other retailers to order your copy. But before I turn it back to Ms. Rosales, I wanted to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who supported me during this writing and publishing process. Of course, I would like to start by acknowledging my dear husband, Carlos, and my daughters, Ashley, Amanda, and Adriana, my dad, my sister, Vicky. I know that you're here. I saw you, and Charlie and Jan. My sister, let me just tell you, everyone, she kept comparing me to Carrie Bradshaw when she was writing her fictional book. Every time I said, I have a meeting with the publisher, she will say something like, okay, Carrie Bradshaw, So thank you, Vicky, for that. To my friends, my former colleagues and mentors, thank you for your unwavering encouragement over the years. To my former colleague and friend, Steve Savage, who came up with the idea for the Two Hats, Two Presidents title. Muchas gracias, Steve. To the people, my beta readers and the endorsers of the book, the president of Palau, Sorango Whips, His Excellency Sorango Whips, and astronaut Jose Hernandez. These are my endorsers. Thank you so much. To Secretary Deb Holland, a special thank you for writing the beautiful foreword for the book. I know she wanted to be here with us tonight, but she is on the road. And last but not least, I wanted to thank again Adriana Rosales, my publisher. I really need to extend my deepest gratitude to you for your invaluable guidance and support. I really couldn't have done this without your, support and you holding my hand during this process. I hope you all enjoy reading the Ambassador, Two Hats, Two Presidents as much as I enjoyed writing it. And again, thank you so very much for being here today. I'm so thrilled to see so many of you. Special time in my life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ambassador Carmen. This was beautiful. Thank you so much for the warm words. And I just want to share with your family and friends here today that writing a book may appear to be easy for some people, but it's quite a feat. And I can tell you that Ambassador Carmen Cantor has done everything. She put her heart and soul into this manuscript, from the details to the story to how she was introducing the content, and she wove every story as she was writing it, as we were collaborating with, she was giving ideas and really digging deep in her heart to make sure that the stories that she was delivering to the reader were stories that have impact. And I am excited to launch this book, under RMPS Studio brand. And I know that it will pave the way for a lot of the younger generation, especially the young women who, are going to get into politics, but even more so the stories that she writes about, in particular about family and about cultura. I even choke up just talking about it, because there was many moments where I would be reading with her and I would cry, because I'm like, oh my goodness, this is it's just beautiful. And I know she says from the beginning, oh, I don't like to write, but I can tell you that she's an incredible writer, and there's very few people that can write and make the editor and the publisher cry as we're reading the story. So I love reading it with you, Carmen, and I just love the interaction that we've had throughout these months. And I know that the reader is going to love it. And this is such an amazing gift to the people in this country, especially, that can read your story and the adventures. And then one more thing, I want to say, even though I was, never aspired to be in politics and never been to the amazing countries you've been to or anything, I felt that every time that I read these stories, that I was right there with you. And that because you had gone to these amazing places and have met these, these incredible human beings, that in some small way, I was also part of that. And it brings me a lot of joy in my heart to know that that a Puerto Riqueña and a Latina has experienced that. To me, it's like such a blessing. So I want to thank you for that experience. I know you think that I helped you, but in reality, it's like you helped me see just this amazing world and what is truly possible. And you are an inspiration to me. And so thank you for that. I appreciate you. And so right now, I want to open the spotlight to anyone who, I haven't looked down there, but I know there's a few of you raising your hand that would like to share any remarks, whether you've had an opportunity to hear about the book, or if you have the advanced reader's copy and maybe you read a few chapters, or you just simply want to share about how you know Ambassador Carmen and how she's impacted your life. This is the time to share those moments. And I'm going to open this up. Let me take a look at, there's a few people that are making comments on the side, and we definitely appreciate that. Enriquez, felicidades. There's quite a few comments here. Okay. Ana Raquel Morales, welcome.
Hi, good evening. I'm a friend of Vivian Rios, so she's the one that, invited me to come to this talk because um I love reading and I'm writing a book about authors, so I wanted to know more about Carmen. I've known her like throughout Vivian for a long time, and I just want to know if she's planning to do a book tour because I could set her up with different venues here in Atlanta. So, yeah, I would like to have her have a book signing here in Atlanta.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I enjoyed the presentation, so I would like to have her here.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Well, we would definitely reach out to you after the celebration and reach out, and we'll let you know what her tour schedule is for sure. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask if she has like any authors that have inspired her, is if she's an avid reader.
Well, thank you so much for that question, Ana Raquel, and thank you so much for joining us. I do know about you also through Vivian, who's always talking about Ana Raquel. So it's great to meet you here tonight. Listen, I've read a number of memoirs in my life. Um, you know, it's funny because today I was talking about the memoir that Sonia Sotomayor wrote and how she
Yeah.
taught beginning and about her family and how she made it to, the Supreme Court. Um, in terms of other memoirs, I've had the opportunity to work closely with Secretary Clinton. So I did see her.
This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, let me go ahead and put people in mute. Go ahead.
So I did have the opportunity to see her in action, and the things that we read on the news. I saw her working on those things, just like I had the great blessing of working with Secretary of the Interior Deb Haaland, who's another incredible woman and person who inspired me to do this to write this book. So, Ana Raquel, I hope that this answered your question. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you on the side as well.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for also offering to help with the book signing in the Atlanta area. I really look forward to it. Thank you.
Okay. Nice meeting you.
Same here.
Thank you, Anna. Okay. Carlos, I see you. Let's see. Oh, there he is. Let me ask. There we go. Carlos Cantor. Here we go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Well, if I may say a few words. I've been a part of Carmen's journey throughout her career, and it's been incredible. Many times it seemed like she wasn't getting where she wanted to get to, but she always seemed to find a way. Very strategic in her decisions with work positions, driven like no other person I've ever met. She's an achiever, and I'm not surprised. But one day, a long time ago, she mentioned becoming an ambassador someday, and she did it, and that just shows how she is, So I am very proud. The family's very proud, and it is a good story. You need to read the book because it does. She had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations to get where she accomplished, but here we are. She wrote a book. I couldn't believe she wrote a book. So there's nothing that, whatever she says that she wants to do, I'm pretty sure she's going to do it. So if anything, you'll learn is that you can accomplish anything, and if you listen to her and read her story, you can pretty much see that she has come a long way. So I'm very proud and love you, hon. Congratulations.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Carlos. All right. Ashley, would you like to comment?
Me?
Yes.
So I was gonna raise my hand, but then I saw the hands raised. I didn't want to jump the line, but I mean,
I do. Yes, you're right.
I
Right.
can go if that's fine.
All right. And then we have Stephen and then Gretchen.
Go ahead, Stephen. I'll wait. I'll wait.
We have a few hands.
Oh, wait, we can't hear you, Stephen.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, sorry about that. Nice to finally meet you, Ashley. I've heard about everything about your life for the last 5.5 years. Everything.
It is wonderful to meet you. I've heard about you as well.
Right. Okay. Well, one, you have a great mother, as you know. I met Ambassador Cantor, who has told me every time from the time I've met her, call me Carmen, and I can't do that. It's a matter of the level of respect that I have for her. I'd like to invite Jeff to come on with me. Jeff and I are kind of her, I guess we would be considered your brothers because not only did we work with Ambassador Cantor, but gave us both incredible opportunities in our professional lives and grew a lot working with Ambassador Cantor, and just again the kindness, the support she provides to people, it's just incredible. And I think anyone that's ever come across Ambassador Cantor just sees beyond a great boss, a really great person. And just want to thank everyone. And I was really happy to be part of the book. I saw my name. That's the first thing I did. I didn't read anything until I went looking for my name, but I saw it in there, and then I went back and read the whole proof. But thanks, Ambassador, for everything, and love you guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Gretchen, Sierra, Sarita. Oh, we can't hear you. Nope, no audio. Okay.
Go,
There. Oh, there we go. I think.
can you hear me here? Can you hear me there?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Little computer. Okay. Hi. I was going to ask a question, but I guess everybody's introducing themselves, so I might as well do that. I know Carmen because we were colleagues in the last administration, and I was surprised because I too am from Puerto Rico. Everybody in Puerto Rico has like 2 degrees of separation, and Carmen and I had never met, even though we were in the same town, living pretty much in parallel universe all these years, and we kind of never crossed paths to till we both entered into the Biden administration. Carmen and I worked on territories. Carmen was the Assistant Secretary for Insular and International Affairs, and I was the point person at the White House for the territories, including Puerto Rico, which is not in Carmen's portfolio. And together we had a lot of fun with a portfolio that I particularly enjoy. I think she enjoys her too. And basically, spent enormous amount of time and energy just trying to raise the profiles of the territories which are neglected by the federal government. And in doing that, we just enjoy each other's company very much. So I consider myself part of her little crowd now, and I'm grateful to be here. But the question I have from Carmen is, I, like Carmen, don't have any desire to write a book. And I was wondering, how did you go from writing, professional documents, which we all do, to something like a memoir, which is, much more creative and has to have a different writing style? And two, did you learn something about yourself that you didn't know at the end of this process, or were you just like, oh, I'm so glad this is over? Those are the two questions.
Thank you so much, Gretchen, and it's so great to see you glad to see you tonight with all of us here. Listen, you're right. Writing official documents is very different than writing your story. As I sat down every week, because the way I did this, I would take my daughter Adriana to her college classes, and I would stay in the student center typing all the things that I could remember from my childhood and the things that I wanted to do and in my career. A different writing style appeared. You're gonna see it when you read the book. I followed Adriana Rosales' advice. She said, write stories. Write a story. Don't just start citing, well, my mother this and my grandmother this, just write a story. And that's what you're going to see. Again, I told Adriana repeatedly, I don't like to write, and I still don't like to write. But that's, something that we have to do. And I think that through this process, I grew a lot. I learned more about myself. I remember things that I had forgotten from my childhood and from my, upbringing in Puerto Rico. I remember things and feelings from experiences that I had in, working up the career ladder, things that I thought I had buried or that were behind me. They came back to the surface. But it was really, I could say, kind of a healing experience, Gretchen, because all that came up. And then I remember, look at the title of this book, The Ambassador. What are the odds that someone like me, someone from Puerto Rico, came from public schools, all the challenges that I had to deal with, here I am. All those things happened, but all those things made me stronger and prepare me for the positions that I had at the end of my 34-year career. So again, it was quite something. And Gretchen, I'd be more than happy to have, coffee with you, a glass of wine, and we can talk more, because I think you also have many stories that you should tell, Gretchen. You had another perspective. And again, like I said, we'd love to sit down with you at some point, but thank you so much for joining us tonight. Great to see you.
Same.
Thank you, Gretchen. Appreciate you. Thank you. That was a great question. Let's go to, I see Honorable Delia Garcia. Is that correct?
Sorry, I'm trying to get off mute.
There you are.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I just want to first say congratulations, Ambassador Cantor. Also, my hermana, I had the opportunity to meet Ambassador Cantor about 18 years ago when we were part of an executive leadership program where only 20, 22, 21 people were chosen across the country. And to see her journey and work with her also when she was working at Department of State with Secretary Clinton, and just seeing her journey as ambassador on 2 different administrations, it's been a really cool seat to have in the front row, and to see now this book come to fruition. I also had the opportunity to write a book during the pandemic, and I featured Ambassador Cantor for a very huge reason. I only chose 50 women across the country, but Ambassador Cantor represents the epitome of what executive servant leadership is. And I'm so excited that she wrote this book because it's important and now, and especially in this time in our country, for people to see themselves or to see also what's a possibility. So I'm excited, and I'll say it here on the camera that, to host a book signing here in Texas or in Washington, D.C. I bounce between Texas and Washington, D.C. But anyway, I just want to say I'm proud of you, Ambassador Hermana, and look forward to hearing and seeing more. And I'm still working on the thing that I'm trying to work on. So I love you, and it's an honor to be your friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's it. So now we've got a book tour, Ambassador Carmen, in Atlanta in Texas, and so in Georgia and Texas. Fantastic. So now we're going to go to Mari Mendez. Welcome. And then we have a few others.
Hi, Carmen.
Hola.
Hola, hola. I just took some notes because I want to say some things, and this is more personal, not professional at all. I know Carmen. Gosh, I'm gonna cry. I know Carmen since I think she was a freshman and I was in second year. We coincided in a few classes. Carmen always, she was reading the newspaper. She was always, I've got a culture of self and going places, and she was so excited. Then once we were like in our careers, I was in the business career in the corporate America, and she was working. She was already in Orlando when she's with the post office. She was always, motivating me, myself, and we were, always bouncing ideas and calling, whether I had issues at work or with the boss, or she was always there, always encouraging progress. And as I see her now, I can say that Carmen has always been Carmen. She's never stopped being herself. I remember in 2013, I went to Washington, D.C. to do some business, and we met, and she took me to a cookie place, a factory, the cookie DC, whatever. They had a TV program too about cookies or cupcakes, DC cupcakes, that's what it was. And she taught me the secret how to get in next time I would go there. And that night, it was one of those days it was snowing, and we spent the night as we did like when we were in college, like a sleepover, and it was so beautiful to see that Carmen still keeps, she still gets fascinated and in awe about the simplest thing. She's excited about life. She's had her inner child is always there. And she's always Carmen. She's never been, and I love that because she could have turned into someone else, and she as pure and genuine as she's ever been. From sharing stories from when she met, Hillary Clinton, or when she met Colin Powell and was working with them, to just, I'm having I remember when she called me on New Year's, and which was her anniversary, but she called me to tell me that Adriana was born. And it was like, I said, she made it. And it was exciting for me just to have her still stay in touch with us too. We meet with Vivian, we meet somewhere, we're all together. So anyway, I don't want to take much time, but I just want to share my excitement for you. Proud I am for you to be my friend, and always happy to be part of the gang.
Thank you. That was so beautiful, Mary. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. You're lovely. All right, Landon Idalet.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
apologize for not pronouncing your last name correctly. My apologies.
No worries. Landon Idlet. So I'm with the National Weather Service over here in Guam, and I've had the pleasure of knowing the ambassador since I think it was 2021. I was looking on my calendar, March 15th, 2021. This was back during the COVID era, and the borders to Micronesia were closed, and so she and some of her embassy staff were stuck here on Guam at the Hilton Hotel. And, I mean, there could be worse places. Um, so she reached out to me. Somebody recommended she reach out to me, and so we chatted over coffee at the Hilton for about an hour or so. And I remembered in the meeting, she said, "By the way, what are you doing for World Meteorological Day?" And I didn't tell you, Carmen, sorry back then, but I didn't say anything. I didn't know what that was. Never heard of it. And so my first thought was, I'm working on plans right now, and then we'll be making it a public event once I get those plans lined up. Once we left, I called the governor's office, spoke to the director of communications and the press secretary. I said, World Meteorological Day is on March 23rd. Y'all want to do a proclamation? We'll make something of it. And they were on board. So from that point, I invited the ambassador over to my office, and she joined us for the occasion. Since that year, 2021, World Meteorological Day is something I've been celebrating here in the office as a way to promote weather awareness and preparedness across all the islands, something that gets overlooked. 2 years later, we had our first ever open house in this facility. We had over 1,500 people in 5 hours. It was pure chaos, but it was a tremendous success bringing people together. But it's been a journey knowing you, Carmen, over the years, including our fishing excursion. I have a photo. I don't know if she talks about the big fish story, but we went out on the boat here in Guam for 4 hours. We caught just that one fish, but it was a great time, and I was horizontal for the rest of the evening when I got home. It was a lot of waves, but it's been a great time working with you over here in the compact states and the West Pacific. I look forward to reading your story, and I hope to get it autographed by you at some point when we cross paths. But I think it's important to inspire people. I grew up in a cornfield in eastern North Carolina in the swamps, and never envisioned working for the Weather Service, let alone leaving the state of North Carolina, and even more so working with people at the diplomatic realm. And so I think it's going to be a great, fantastic read, and I hope it inspires people all around the globe because of the work that you do. So I look forward to our continued friendship and collaboration in the future. So kudos to you.
Hey, thank you. That was beautiful, Landon. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We're going to, and I want to honor everybody's time. So if we're going to make sure that we close on time and respect everybody's time. So if you were going to do a few remarks, raise your hand now so I can get to you. Okay. Abdiel Raso, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So my name's Abdiel Raso. I worked with the ambassador. I'm like Steve. I can't. She's told me to call her Carmen, and I just cannot. Por respeto, obviously. And so, but I worked with the ambassador for the last 2 years. Her last 2 years at Interior, and I find it interesting that you say you don't like to write. As somebody who's received so many emails from you, it seemed like you did love to write, but I mean. But no, Ambassador, I'm so happy that you finally have done this. You've mentioned it a couple times, and working for you, it sort of worked out perfectly because I remember when I was told by the chief of staff that there was an opening in Insular and International, and that foreign policy is my thing, and that it would be a lateral move and all that. I remember thinking, well, yeah, well, might as well, like, what? Of course, I'll do it. And I found out a few weeks later that there was going to be a new assistant secretary. You had just been confirmed, and the timing worked out great. And I remember going over to talk to you, and I almost thought, is this an interview? Is she gonna, if she doesn't like me, she gonna tell the chief of staff now they can take him back? But it felt like I was talking to somebody that I've known for like a long time, and obviously, Ambassador, you've become a great mentor. You've helped me in terms of career choices, how to advance my career. You advocated for me. I will say that she went out of her way many times to include me in stuff she didn't have to. Sometimes she was like, "Hey, I'm headed to the State Department. Come with me." She didn't have to do that, but she always included me. And one time where that really stood out, I think also was I had just come back on a personal international trip, and I had just gotten off the airplane. And I texted the chief of staff, our chief of staff at the time for the office, Caroline. Oh, hey, just by the way, I landed. Let the ambassador know, I'm good. I'll be off tomorrow, but I'll be back in the office. And she said, okay, by the way, she wants to know if you can go to Indonesia in 2 weeks. And I said, it's a crazy question to ask me after getting off of a 12-hour flight, but and she's like, well, she really wants you to go. She's really trusting you to help spearhead this trip. And that for me always just showed that she always had great confidence in me. And you are strategic, Ambassador, as well. There's been times where I would come in your office ready to go about something, and you would have to tell me to pump the brakes and let's think this through. And you would write a couple emails, and then you had a strategy ready to go. But Ambassador, I'm so happy for you, and I can't wait to read this book. As somebody who's had to organize several panels to talk about your life, I'm curious to see what else is in there that I haven't heard yet. So thank you again, Ambassador.
Thank you, Abiel. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. It's a wonderful memory. Felicita Solar. Carter.
Yes, it is my absolute privilege to be invited to this event and to be able to contribute a few comments. By way of background, I'm a lifelong federal civil service leader and continue to in positions of leadership throughout the community. So I have the occasion to meet many, many, many talented young people. In fact, people of all ages and backgrounds. And Carmen was a star from day one. And way back, I'm not going to tell you how long ago, but quite a few years ago, I had occasion to connect with Carmen, and I was thrilled to be able to give her an opportunity at the agency I was working at the time. She impressed every single soul she encountered. Since then, it's been just an absolute joy to see her maneuver, move forward, tack the waters, when you need to. I'm not surprised that she's ended up accomplishing so many extraordinary goals. And I'm actually quite thrilled to see the book. I'm dying to read it. As soon as I heard about it, I sent her and I said, where can I buy it? I want to support writers and leaders that I know, because she is the ultimate in positive thinking, making a difference, bringing others along and bringing others together. And in this time and age, it is so important to have leadership that recognizes that every single soul has something to contribute, and that when something sets you back, you need to tack and think about, how do I work through this, arrange it? What do I have to be aware of that may need to be done differently? She's absolutely the best, absolutely the best. So I am thrilled beyond belief to have been invited to participate this evening. And Carmen, anything I can do to continue to support you and book sales and so on. I reside in Howard County, Maryland, and we have a Boys and Poets and other outlets here. So if there's any opportunity for an activity here in this area, I'll be happy to gather not only my book club, but others to encourage support and participation, maybe a speaking role at one of our local institutions, because I really think yours is a voice that needs to be heard. So thank you.
Thank you, Felicita Sola, Carter. Appreciate it. Thank you for those comments. And yet another invitation to another city. We have 3 more, and then we're going to go ahead and I'll do the closing remarks, and we'll do our final toast for Ambassador Carmen. Ashley?
Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ashley Cantor, Carmen's oldest daughter. It's very nice to see everyone on here today. I will keep it very brief. I know Amanda will actually probably chime in for a few seconds in a second here. But I too, like Abdiel, wanted to just comment on Carmen's comment about not liking to write, my mom, Carmen Gloria, because I don't know if many of you know, but she really likes a red pen. And growing up, that red pen was pretty ruthless. So it's really nice that the tables have turned and the family got to metaphorically use a red pen this time around. But in all seriousness, she has, I don't want to speak for, Amanda, but she's definitely made me a better writer. like I definitely learned a lot from her growing up, and in my professional career, sometimes people will say, you know, you write as if you've been writing for a very long time, and it's just because my mom really tore my work up when I was young, and so I got good. But all of that is to say, we're so proud of you, Mom. And this is very exciting. And I'm gonna turn it over to Amanda.
Thanks, Ashley.
Yeah.
I'll be very short and brief because I know there's a couple more people that want to say some things, and just wanted to say thank you to everyone that joined us tonight for this book. I wanted to say specifically like how I'm Carmen's middle child, favorite child. Just kidding. Sorry. So I growing up watched how she was, but I was young. I didn't really understand growing the career ladder and trying to make it and not realizing the struggles that she had to face coming from Puerto Rico and not knowing anyone and not having any connections. And especially in today's day and age, you have to know someone to get a job somewhere. And so throughout high school, college, she was always pushing me and inspiring me to kind of apply for things and look at the government. And that just was not it for me. I just did not have any interest in the government, but I knew I was passionate about sports. And so I kind of took that same mentality and paved my own way in the sports industry. And so I just love bringing her up to all of my coworkers now that I've got to meet and talk about her story. And one of the things that they love to say too is how much of a badass she is. So it's been really cool to kind of be in a different field and everyone recognize the hard work that she's done to get to where she is. And we joke about how she retired and she didn't actually retire because she can't sit still. So I think everyone can agree to that. And then just last thing, if you want to do a book tour in Jacksonville, I don't have any qualifications to host that, but I'm sure we can figure it out. I can talk to someone and we'll do it here in Ponte Vedra. But just proud of you and I'm excited to read the final version.
Thank you, Amanda. That's amazing. Thank you, Ashley, too. Both of you are awesome. I know you read some parts of the book, and yes, thank you so much for doing that. So 2 more, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Bonnie, thank you for joining.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Bonnie Chuang. Ambassador, thank you so much for inviting me in your important and very special day, your book launch. I can't wait to read it. I have known Ambassador Cantor since my family and I served in U.S. Embassy Colonia in Micronesia. And like Abdel and Steve, she's been asking me to call her Carmen, and I told her, every time you say that, I feel like my grandmother's already like nagging right next to me. So let me call you Ambassador because you're forever our ambassador. She has been our great leader, and she also became my dear friend, inspiration, and role model. I am so proud and grateful for, proud for to be her friend, proud to know her, and grateful for all the memories we have shared in Micronesia. We've shared so many ups and downs and also explored K-dramas together. We formed a K-drama club, sorry, Ambassador, but that's our club there in Micronesia. That was fun. And then I can't wait to read your book. So thank you for including me.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay, and then our final comment from Isabel Garniero. Welcome.
Hi, Carmen. It's so great to see you. I will keep it short as well since I know we're short on time. So I met Carmen 11 years ago, thanks to Ivan, who's on the call, and Trigo. And Carmen, as most of you know, has a way of pulling you in as if she's known you her whole life. And it is a feat that's amazing to see. I've been at the Department of State for that long, and Carmen has constantly been someone to look up to. She's been a light for us all. I was the president of one of our nonprofits, the Hispanic and Latin Employee Council for Foreign Affairs Agencies, and I believe Carmen was the only other female president before my time. So I constantly look to her for guidance. You know, the whole imposter syndrome thing. Carmen just is a fount of strength, and whenever we would have her come for an event or to meet with, young interns, whatever, she was always there. She would never let you down. She's the type of person that would give you the shirt on her back if she needed to. And I just am so, so thankful to have you in our lives, to see you touch so many people and to continue to touch people. This book is just another way for you to put your light out into the world. And I can't wait to share it for the people that are in my circle. And in terms of the employee organization, like you've taken HECFA in a way that we have only been stronger because of your leadership. And so many, many thanks for everything that you do, Carmen. We love you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Well, this concludes our book launch. And as we close, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here and to honor this milestone for this amazing book, The Ambassador, Two Hats, Two Presidents. Remember that this is more than a book. It's a gift of stories, values, and experiences that will inspire for years to come. So on behalf of RMPS Studio, it has been a privilege to help bring this memoir to life and to witness firsthand the dedication, grace, and authenticity that Ambassador Carmen brings to everything that she does. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart because I have worked with her all of these months, and she is an exceptional human being with a work ethic that I've never seen before. So let us carry forward the inspiration of her story and a reminder that courage, compassion, and connection are the true hallmarks of leadership in life. Here's to the book, the stories, the woman behind them. Congratulations, Ambassador Carmen. Here's to you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being here today.
She read her future in the spaces between gaps.